Share. Hello, everybody. There he is. Hey, yep, that's the back of the truck. I got maintenances on Monday, so just trying to get things set and organized here. I got some various copper pipes to go through.
Jimmy, how you doing? What, you sitting down on the drive?
No, doing a training video.
Huh?
Training video.
Ah. Hush.
Finger's fine.
All better?
Yeah.
So we got it all, huh?
Yeah.
I love that. So you cleaned up your... Oh, you got a neat place in here.
No, I'm doing a training video right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're not supposed to talk to me.
All right. So, stuff over a little bit here. We have engine eighth, 7/8. Turn you a little bit here. 3/4. 5/8, 1/2 inch, 3/8, 5/16, and 1/4 inch. So, first thing I want to do is clean all the ends up, because when you go to do your swedging or your flaring, you want to clean the ends up. So, got a little bit more of a lip right there, but that's probably from when I cut the copper because it was a little out of round. So we'll just make sure we have as much of that out as possible. That seems pretty good. 7/8. I'm gonna try and move this a little bit closer into so y'all can see. 7/8 here. We'll do both ends because we're going to swedge one end and flare the other. Yes, that is the back of my daily work truck. Nice and clean. Nice and clean. Let me drop y'all down a little bit here just so I'm not trying to lift up. Here's my 3/4. This end's a little rough, but we're still going to use it. We'll swedge this end here. Get a little bit of a Here's our 5/8. Reamer, yes, I have a reamer, but I prefer this over my reamer. My reamer is that here. It's more or less for your fine tuning than it is to get all the extra stuff out. So I like this tool better because it's quicker. And if I need to go in here like this, I can put this in, clean it. Now if I'm going to be flaring, I'll take this and run this on the outside just to clean the edge up a little bit. But everyone has their own personal preference. Let me do this real quick before I forget. Now, when you get the smaller pipe, this becomes a issue. So I will stop with this size right here at our 1/2 inch. And that's where this comes into play. Pull this out. Don't even see your standard tip, your small tip. Thank you for the roses, y'all. Thank you for all the likes too. So you can see how much smaller that tip is. And you still a little hook right there on the side. You see a little bead right there to check for sharpness for anything left inside. So since it's a smaller pipe, smaller reamer, one side, now this is where I will take this for the smaller pipes as well and just do a little quick clean. If you notice, you can probably see better on this side, this has multiple teeth versus the 3 that everyone's used to. So you can see how that fits in here, more room than this. See, it doesn't get a good swirl around. This is so big. This, I get a nice clean swirl. Okay, I'm not gonna clean both sides because the swedging tool will not go down below 3/8, but the flare tool will. So get it clean, and this just barely fits in the 1/4 inch. Now the pipe is clean. So we're going to start off with the flare kit first. And that is just my vape, so don't go crazy. Flare tool. Now you can buy the NAVAC. I don't care what flare tool you have, honestly. Whatever works for you, works for you. What works for me, it works for me. So 1/4, 1/2 inch, 3/8, 3/4, 5/8. Okay? Batteries in. So we'll go to the 3/4 first, okay? 3/4 pipe, your gauge. Make sure you're up against the gauge, squeeze it so it's nice and tight. You have an arrow there and arrow there. You want to line those arrows up with your bar. So you see how that's lined up? Once you're lined up, squeeze. And done. Unlock it, slide it out. Pull your pipe out, and there you go. So I don't know if you can tell, but watch this. I'm gonna take this. If there's a lip, it will catch. It is smooth all the way around. Nothing catches my fingernail. Flare nut goes on that end. It's all nice and smooth. Don't have to worry about that. So, 5/8. Oh yeah. Get my depth gauge in set. Open up to it. Lock it. Hello, Jared. What's happening? Done. Pull it out. Boom. Another smooth flare. Nothing. No burrs. Look at that. Here, I'll give you the 3/4 back here. Look at that flare. Yes, I've been telling you need to get it because you got that job coming up. All right, 1/2 inch. And these are only mainly the sizes that your mini splits will use. It doesn't have anything bigger than that. So this is mainly a mini split install kit. If you buy the non-install kit, I believe it might come with 7/8. We're at our point. Set it in. You hit this button right here, it says light. Hit the light, it gives you a little light button. Gives you your battery indicator. Pull it off. Another nice flare. All right. So we'll put them back in line as we've done them. Next is 3/8. Now, I have this piece of 3/8. As you can see, it's got some tape on it. This is an old piece of 3/8. So, I had someone commenting saying that the swedge tool will crack the old 3/8. I got new up on the shelf, but we're in. Lock. And I got another surprise for y'all at the end of this. After we show all this and then the flare swedge tool, there's a little surprise coming. There you go. Talking, let's see here, hold on here. That dude taking your advice about the NAVAC pump. Yeah, I mean, I put it like this. The NAVAC rep came to our class night and showed us the stuff, and that's when I fell in love with it. All right, last bit, the flare, 1/4 inch. So put it in. Make sure gauge is in place. Set. And everyone knows 1/4 inch is the worst to flare, correct? If you've done mini splits, you've had a flare 1/4 inch, this is the worst because it's so small. If you don't get it lined up right, it just doesn't fit. So, lined up, locked in place. Notice it quickly stopped. Didn't have a lot to go. Pull it out. Boom. 1/4 inch flare. No, I'm not going invitation with NAVAC. He showed up to my tool night last semester back in the fall, and I fell in love with the equipment, the stuff. I bought this kit, the flare kit, install kit, that night. So I'm gonna pull you out of this and show you I'm gonna get you the rest of the stuff here. So the install flare kit comes with a set of regular copper cutters, Tin Man's favorite to go to now. Comes with a set of imps, and you can see I've used them. This reamer, that reamer, yep. Metric and standard Allen keys. Don't think I'll use all of them anytime soon, but I have them. That's part of the kit. Battery charger for your battery. Now, if you're doing a mini split and you want to, it doesn't have a micron gauge, but it comes with a little digital gauge for your stuff, and adapter. So you can hook up to the mini splits. In case your mini split's got the bit larger size, it comes with that piece right there. That's just an adapter to go from standard to normal. It's your little coupling. Nope. And the piece de resistance, other than the tool itself, which I did a little video on that. Yes, and someone made the comment, oh, it's the same as, yada, yada, yada. I said, that's fine. So, now here's a nice thing. Pop that off. Share. Switch it. Hit your power button. So I'm set for 46. .7 is the max it'll go, okay? The lowest, as you can see, is 3.1. So we're going to stop at 3.1 here. I'm going to pull y'all back just so you can see a little bit here. So I got it at 3.1. You can see how it lights up and gives you a red light to tell you when you're done. That does make your life easier when you have your torquing it, so you know you're getting it. Some people have the click style, old school clicks. I have those at home, but in my shop, in my garage, excuse me. But they're more or less the automotive style versus the refrigeration style. So there you go. You can flip your head either direction. Automatically turns it off. Little screwdriver for the battery case. All locks in. And it comes in a nice case to protect it. your bits, your heads, essentially. They come in this nice little bag. Small on one side, large on the other. That goes in there. And you can see I've used this quite a bit as well. A couple other techs have used it. You want to see the pump? You talking about that pump right there? I'll show it to you. I'll grab it in a little bit in a minute here. Put that stuff up. All right. So now the reason that all started this whole ordeal was the vacuum pump, the swedge kit. So we have 3/8, 1/2 inch, 5/8, 3/4, 7/8, 1 inch, and 1 1/8 that comes with this. Comes with one battery, your drill, and hydraulic oil. Got a little oily from shipping. You change the oil once a year or every 6,000 uses. So if you can be using it 6,000 times in a year, go for it. It does have a light. So can't do 1/4 inch. We know that's out. We can do 3/8. Okay. And they actually lock in place. So put it on and screw. Doesn't take much to tighten it up. So 1/4 inch, gone. 5/16, nothing happened with it. 3/8. We've already reamed everything. Put our 3/8 in. Done. No cracking whatsoever. All right. So there's 3/8, and that kind of oh. Next is 1/2 inch. Let me move this over here, make it a little bit easier to get to everything. Right now, done. Once again, no cracking. All right, that's 1/2 inch, 5/8. Stick it in. As soon as it sets that certain point, it stops. There's no overgoing. No cracks once again. Let's see, this is 3/4. There's that end that was messed up, right? So everyone see that end? See how it's kind of squared out and doesn't look right? I'm just holding it there, letting the gun do its work. Look at that. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Now, for some of y'all that have the rector seal swedges that puts in your drill, they stop at a certain point. 7/8. 7/8. Tight spaces, Tin Man. Well, it depends on how tight of a space you're getting into. Like I said, I got something else to show after I finish this. So, 1.1 inches. Now, that end is all jacked up. I did not clean this end at all. I cleaned that end pretty well. I'm going to go on the jacked end first, okay? That's not cleaned. As you can see, it's not going to go in. That end does go in. A little bit of a tap. So I'll clean the other end up and show you a second here. 1.1 ACR copper. There you go. All cleaned up. So I'm going to clean this end up real quick with y'all. And I'm going to go get the other surprise out. So, yes, I'm throwing money on the ground. Copper shavings, come get them. Yay! And just confirm that this does fit in. It does. Good. So, also, nice thing about this, hear the rattle? Push that down and twist. Spare blades. Yes, you can use your drill to swedge. I said I don't have a problem with whatever everyone uses, but that stuff there doesn't really get to all the sizes that this does. Yeah. Oh, you want to see max capacity? That's where we're going with this in a second, stuff, Troy. I know everyone likes to have a little alcohol. This is my go-to. I'm not much of a drinker. So give me a second as I walk over to the side of my truck here. Somebody put it back in the right spot. All right, Troy. You want max capacity. Okay, you ready for this? So before I bought that kit, I bought this. That comes with copper cutters and a reamer, which is what I'm using out of that kit right now. All right, I'm gonna pick y'all up so you can see. Hydraulic. So there's your 3/8, 1/2 inch, 5/8, 3/4, 1.1 and 1 inch, right? 7/8, 1.25 inch, 1 inch, and 7/8. So there's 1.1 back there. 1.25 inch, 1.5 inch. There you go. Inch and 3/8. Inch and 5/8. All that off of this big bad boy right here. So we know we have 1.1 copper right here. I'm going to reach over here. We're going to go on the hand. So nice thing about this is work, release. So we turn this to work. It gets tougher as you're going. I'm going to use two hands now to hold so you can see. But I can essentially still squeeze with one hand. Alright, that's one hand. So you can see the swedge. It just takes it out to where it goes, to max. Hit the release. It releases the fluid. Boom. So you don't have to buy the battery. You can buy this. No worry about changing anything else in with it. But if I need to do 1 3/8, I'm gonna pull the battery out, put it on that, put it on the battery, and go with it. Let me make this a little easier to get into the truck. Pardon my fat rear end when I get in there. You are gonna get kind of mooned. Any of you young guys that are on the trade on here tonight, I highly recommend you get yourself a damn good pair of knee pads. Alright, so I'm going to set this up. I'm going to raise y'all up because I'm going to stand up for this here. Alright, that looks good. So I can kind of see as I'm doing this as well. Move y'all a little bit closer. Don't act like you're drunk and bend y'all over. Ta-da! There we go. And Jesse, that's your decision. I've used the Helmar ones at school. It has the quick release, yes. So it's all on what you want to use. I'm not saying Helmar's bad. I just prefer the NAVAC over the Helmar. A lot of people had questions about the NAVAC, so that's what sparked this tonight. So, NAVAC battery, vacuum pump. Battery, test light green, goes on. Hit this little button here. Once it gets going, open that up. You can see you got 3 ports. And there she goes. I'm gonna turn it off because I got this is actually going on a job tomorrow to get used. And that's it. Battery will last you about an hour. Gives you a nice bottle to put the oil in. The bag has pouches, and so in case oil spills, it stays in the pouch itself. Your oil fill, gas ballast, sight glass, and drain. Yes, give me a second, let me put this back in the bag here. Miss Skill Cat. Right there, 8 CFM vacuum pump from Philippines. So, Facts, no. There it is. Flip the camera. All right. Hello, everybody. Finally got my head shaved last night. I was going crazy. It was nuts. I hated it. Y'all can use whatever you want out in the field. I have DeWalt 12 volt drill. I have rigid 18 volt drill. I have Milwaukee copper cutters. for cutting big jobs like this. We had a VRF job we did. We were running 1 3/8 all the way down to quarter to 5/16, and it was a lot of cutting. So that thing would do everything from 1/2 inch up to 1 1/8. So that thing got some uses. Hey Johnny, what's happening? Hey Tyler. So if the guys are coming in late a little bit, I will save this and download this to my YouTube channel, which is the same name. It links in the tree there. But for guys who haven't shown, who are just seeing, we swedged 1 1/8 copper, which a lot of swedging tools can do that. Troy, have a good one. My gauges, just standard filled piece gauges. So, oh, yeah, I know how that can be out there. Here is 3/4 swedged and flared. And you can see the flare. This was new copper, Johnny. This is the old copper, the 3/8. I didn't have any old copper on my truck. I actually had to cut all this stuff from the shop. I happened to have this on my truck from the other day's job. But you can see the swedge. Once it zooms, it reads it. It doesn't have any splits on it whatsoever. And the flares are smooth as a baby's bottom. Nothing catching, nothing. 1/2 inch. No cracks. No ridges. There's a little debris in there, which I'll, take my finger. I'm so trusting, I'll even do it. Nothing. 7/8 swedge. So yeah. And Johnny, here's the piece of resistance for you. 1/4 inch. We all know how much 1/4 inch is a pain in the butt to flare. I don't know if it's going to zoom it in properly because I'm right here with it. Try pulling it out a little bit, if you can tell. But there's not a single crack on that 1/4 inch at all. It is a beautiful flare. And we all know, I know 1/4 inch is probably one of the worst ones to flare. So, like I said, posted that video of the NAVAC swedge tool a little bit, just to show how it works. A lot of people are questions and asking. So here you go. The NAVAC kit for mini splits. It's about $900. Okay. You can buy the flare kit alone for about $400, I think it is. The swedge kit, the hand swedge kit, I think I paid $300 for that, and the expansion pack I paid $100 for, so $300 to $400, somewhere in that ballpark. Maybe it's $200 for the kit and the $100 for that there. The swedge kit, battery powered. Yeah, $994. That's about right. Yeah. Now I'm giving you pricing as if it were normal pricing. When I'm at school, when I'm teaching, Carrier gives my students tools just above cost. So yeah, the battery swedge kit runs about $500 to $600 depending on where you're at. The vacuum pump, I want to say, it's a 4 CFM battery powered vacuum pump. It was about, I think that's running about $600 itself as well, and it only weighs 12 pounds. The battery was $250, I think, extra. Well, have a good one. Get back to work. Yes, I'm on the East Coast. I've been off since 3:30. So, yeah. But yeah, so it's all a matter of what you want to use. I mean, I have a drain cat I use all the time versus using a CO2 gun. I have an MC tank with a beat with turbo torch on it. Also have my oxyacetylene. I have a rigid plug-in Sawzall. You know, I'm not a brand specific, but if I find a tool I like, I will use it constantly. It is what it is. I have a Baccarat digital combustion analyzer, field piece, leak detector. I even bought the NAVAC one just as a backup, just in case I needed to have one. In case my battery was dead, I have a backup to go. B-Tank is nice for big pipe, but I have a rosebud tip for my oxyacetylene, and it will blow it up like no tomorrow. Recommendations of recovery machines. I used to use the old Stinger back when I first started 20 plus years ago. We burnt them things up like no tomorrow. I haven't used any other brands except for the normal ones everyone uses all the time. The Yellow Jacket ones. I actually bought the filled piece vacuum recovery machine. The nice thing about that is when it's done recovering, it shuts off and alerts you by beeping at you. About how much do you think it costs to get an HVAC? All right, so here's the thing. About 3 years ago, I paid about $550 just for basic hand tools and a bag for my stepson, black stepson, to get into the trade. He got into the trade on his own, and no help from me or his mom, who's in the trade as well. That's where I met her. We worked at the same company. He got in. He's been buying more tools, his own drill and everything else. You can spend as little as $500 for your basic stuff, as much as $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 on your tools. It all depends on what you want for your job and you're doing. Like my company, they provide a vacuum pump, they provide a recovery machine, they provide a leak detector, they provide the Baccarat, the combustion analyzer. I wanted those for myself. Where I work at, if my tool breaks, they buy me a brand new one. So why not have my own? That way, in case I need something to do on my time for my family or my friends, I have my own tools. I'm not using the company's. That's just the thing. I don't do side work anymore. I got done with it years ago. Plus, the price of the pain of dealing with people was just too much. I used to own my own. I used to be a co-owner of a company. Yeah, I won't deal with that headache again. It's just not me. I was a silent partner in the company. I was the service manager, and the owner said, "Hey, how do you feel about coming on as a partner?" And I said, "Sure." I said, "What do I need to do?" He said, "Just invest back in the company." I invested every other paycheck back into the company to make sure the guys got paid. I've held every position in the company you can think of. You name it, I've held it. I've been in the office doing dispatching and billing. Service manager, install manager, co-owner, helper. Oh, I was a good helper. Tell you what, my mechanic, his name was Peanut and Pork Chop. That was our crew. They called us the PP team. We rolled some new house construction, and I started out as a helper in new construction and worked my way up. 4 years I was a mechanical plumbing inspector for the local jurisdiction here. So code questions, code stuff, I know that. Code is different in interpretations to each local jurisdiction. So what's right for my area might not be right for yours. What's done in my area might not be right for your area as well. So you have to look at the codes and what's required in your area and talk to your code your inspectors to see what they need or require. I don't even know what time it is. Someone tell me what time it is. I'm thinking it's probably about 7 o'clock-ish, my time. Tyler, you still in here? All right, so it's 6 up, close, 6:50, close to 7 o'clock our time. So, I've been teaching for 13 years. 95% one town, 80 in another. Yep. Dealing with some people sometimes is like, yeah. One thing I did learn, I went to automotive school before I went to HVAC. I learned how to read schematics on cars. So I learned how to read a schematic on a car. HVAC schematics was nothing compared to me. Cool deal, Chili. 3 months. Go for it. Get it in and get it out. Get it done. So I've been teaching for 13 years. This fall starts my 14th year teaching. After 10 years of doing it straight through, will be not next year, but the year after, 2014-2015 school year, was when I started. The 24-25 school year, when I finished that, that'd be 10 years straight teaching it. And factor in 20 people per class, I've taught over 600 people heating and air conditioning at the end of the 24-25 school year. I can tell you about North Carolina a little bit. My stepdad's a general contractor, and yeah, North Carolina is a tough cookie to crack. Yeah, and state requirements are different. Like here in Virginia, if I want to get my German's card, I have to have 240 hours of classroom and 4 years in the field, then sit for my German's test. After I have documented and everything for D4 to look over. Then after that, holding that for a year, you can sit for your master's. I've been doing it for 20 years. I've got all my paperwork sitting upstairs, ready to file, and I have just haven't done it yet. Procrastinating, I guess. I don't know. No, we don't make them do empathy charts. We got away from that a long time ago. First year class does all the basic stuff. And I say first year, second year, third year. Basically a spring, fall, spring. So from August to December is your fall semester, and then from February to May, is your spring semester. We actually have some empathy charging arrestor stuff at school, but we don't use it. We're trying to clean the shop up, and I'm having to fight people to get stuff motivated. We have, as you can see in the TikToks of the school, we have some nice stuff to play with, a lot of nice equipment to work. I'm not sure what AACP stands for. But yeah, so I have guys that, from students that follow me on here, I have students that reach out to me all the time, asking me questions for help and everything else. Train engineer. No, she's not a train engineer. And, you know, we all love the engineers that design heating and air conditioning. She's not one of them. So, also, for y'all that are still here, if you're 0 to 5 years, the HVAC Army, which I'm a part of, you can tell we're Army, the Army people, because we have the little diagram, as you can see up top there with the blob behind it. We're giving away a Milwaukee pack out full of tools. So go to Facebook, look it up, look up HVAC Army, like the page. Other people on here, Troy, Jared, Troy's Tin Man, Jared's TikTok, HVAC Life, I believe it is, or Lee Zach, Johnny, Sam. If you come on the lives with Jarrett, we're all in there pretty much. You can go to see who follows us, follow some of them, you know, like, share everyone's videos. I try to do that as much as I possibly can. Working 12 to 14 hour days right now. It's been crazy. Today is the first day I've actually gotten off where there's still light outside. So I'm like, yes. And I said, I'm going to do this tonight at 6 o'clock my time to show you all these tools, show you all this stuff. Not much. If y'all want to ask anything of me, give it about 5 more minutes, then I'm going to go home, go inside, get cleaned up, and go get me some dinner. Because Daddy's hungry. Well, 0 to 5 years, Ben. go to the Facebook page, HVAC Army, join it, make a video about yourself. Talk about yourself. And the giveaway is going to be, we're giving the tools, the pack out away March 17th next year. So St. Patty's Day next year is when we're doing the drawing for the pack out. And it's going to be littered with tools. We've already got the big bottom tray full, as Jarrett said last night. I know Jarrett's been going crazy since he owns his own company. He has been working his butt off like no tomorrow. We all work in the field. We're giving our stuff away in this. Okay, when you're saying capacitors go bad for several reasons. Heat. When we have what I call Hell Week here, when it's 100 degrees for the first week here, we go through capacitors like no tomorrow. They can go through old age. They can just go through after a year. And they swell up. They just stop having capacity. Why? I don't know. I'm not someone who designed them. I just find them bad and replace them. Mice, snakes. Ants love contactors. I can't tell you how many contactors. Even with this stupid little plastic cover on the contactor, the ants will find a way to get in there. Earwigs. If you don't know what an earwig is, we have them here in Virginia. They got little pinchers on their butt that do this number. They love contactors as well. I have seen dogs chew up thermostat wire before. Yeah. Lawn guys, they love our thermostat wire with their weed whackers. If you're doing a rooftop unit, this is a tech tip from me. If you're doing rooftop unit work and everything else, and you got thermostat wire that comes to a pitch pocket, do not leave that thermostat wire exposed. Take that thing and run it in liquid tight back to your unit. In 5 years' time, the outer coating on that thermostat wire is going to be sun rotten and worn away. And Jennifer, good. Thank you for showing up. Yeah, I'm sure you do with the heat out there. But put the thermostat wire in liquid tight and put it to the unit. Protect that thing. Because if not, you'll be back in 5-10 years' time replacing that wire, and you've got a pitch pocket that's sealed. Now you got to open it up, get a roofer out there. It's a pain. Run it in liquid tight. It'll protect it. When the liquid tight fails, put a coupling on there and add a new piece. But protect your thermostat wires. It'll save you a lot of headache, especially on split systems, on roofs, on commercial. Anytime I go to jobs where I see thermostat wire exposed like that, I don't just replace the section wire. I replace it and put it in liquid tight and run it into the unit. Problem solved. So, it really is. It makes your life easier on the liquid tight with the thermostat wire. It's a pain to run it though if you're running a long section, because thermostat wire is not very rigid and it likes to bend a little bit as you're running it through. Even though you've run it straight and you're pushing it through, it gets tied up. So if you have a snake, run a snake through it, then pull it through. But put your thermostat wire in a liquid tight. It'll save you a headache down the road. I promise you that much. So, all right, there's 4 of y'all left in here. The tea is gone. And I have one last thing for Jarrett. Have a good one, y'all.